I want to first off by saying this is my formal apology because I got sick.
You're the one for me, that's why I give you everything.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Book It. I am your host, Sav Lewis, and today I am so excited. I want to do some house cleaning real quick, and then we'll go ahead and jump right into our book. So, first and foremost, I do apologize. I was sick. I had the flu. It was absolutely terrible and the worst. I was editing videos. I was doing so good at getting a bunch of stuff out, and then boom, got hit, was down for the count. I'm back. I'm better. I'm here. Let's party. Secondly, I do want to go ahead and state this. My Goodreads, the one that I have listed down below in the description, I'm going to start uploading my summary thing, my notes that I do for these videos in my Goodreads thing. So if you're looking for a certain book that I've already read, I have read more books than I have actually placed a description on the website. On the website, I think I have 5 books total that I've reviewed. I've obviously read more than 5 books in my life. I'm gonna go ahead and just start posting those. So if those are posted before the video comes out, I do apologize, but it's a lot for me to have to remember how to do that all. So I'd rather just go ahead and just jump right in and then keep the keep everything else going. But today we're going to start. I'm going to be recording a lot today, so you're going to see me wearing this outfit a lot today, all day. So we're going to start off today by talking about this book. I'm so excited. This is The Never King by Nikki St. Croix, and as you can see, I have hella tabs. We have a lot to talk about. I will go ahead and say this video is spoilers for this book. If you haven't read the book, you don't want to hear about it, go ahead and just click right away. But if you're okay, we're going to dive right in. The triggers for this book are sexual everything. There's some sort of emotional abuse, not really sexual abuse, but also mental health issues. And then according to her website, because Nikki St. Croix is a goddess and she gave a website full of triggers, it has mental illness, smoking, graphic rift sex, sex in public, group sex, dubcon, graphic violence, graphic language, captivity, captive, degradation, submission, bondage, ropes, blood play, choking, CNC, text, talk of sexual assault. That's a lot. So if any of those trigger you, I would go ahead and click away, choose a different video to watch for your mental health and for mine. That's the most important thing. But for those that are okay with it, we're going to go ahead and jump right on in. So this is a retelling of the classic loved story of Peter Pan. Slightly different, a lot darker. This takes place in the future where we meet Winnie Darling. She is the great-granddaughter, very something granddaughter, and she turned 18. I'm gonna cough really loud. Give me 1 second. All right, on her 18th birthday, she learns the family secret is that Darling women are stolen from their beds in the night, and they are brought back either days, hours, weeks, months later, and they are completely different. They have a history of mental illness in the family, and she doesn't really know what to expect because they don't tell her what to expect when she's taken. So the day her mother is protecting her from finally arrives, and when Peter Pan shows up to kidnap his Winnie Darling, her mother steps in and he's like, "Oh, so good to see you. Haven't seen you in so long. How are you?" And she is pissed. She does not want her daughter to go. She's also very mentally ill. So she goes ahead and she gets taken. She's out the window. She's gone. She ends up waking up later, finding out that because Peter Pan has lost his shadow, or his shadow was stolen from him, Neverland, the island, is dying, and he needs to find a way to basically save it. And Darling women are the reason that the shadow is gone, so he's trying to figure out how to get the shadow back by using old memories that Darling women might have in their brain. So far, they've been very unsuccessful, but they have a lot of hope. So the plan is basically they're going to call up Tinkerbell. She comes in, she does some mind voodoo tricks, and then she's supposed to get information. The issue with that, it's never worked in the past. They don't understand why. But basically they know that after Tinkerbell comes in and, does her little brain stuff, the women, their brains are fried. They don't understand anything anymore. They're often very confused. It's very messed up, very dark, just so everyone's aware. But the one rule is you do not touch a darling woman. And Winnie, our girl Winnie here, seduces one of the twins, which are the Lost Boys, and ends up seducing Mr. Peter Pan himself later on down in the storyline. So he ends up sleeping with her, which is a big issue, and his right-hand man, the Dark One, because of how everything's set up. The Dark One has his own shadow as well, and then Peter Pan has his own shadow. The Dark One is more of like he takes a dark, negative turn. He's very broody, standoffish. Same as Peter Pan, very standoffish, but Peter Pan has like a nicer side. We'll get into the Dark One later on. That's another video that we'll be filming later on today, because that is the second book in the series. But today, right now, in this very moment, we are focused on the Never King, which is Peter Pan, which is the nice way of saying it. This book was a great retelling, so I'm not going to spoil exactly what happens at the end. You kind of can put two and two together of what happens, because, you know, it is a fairy tale. This book is definitely 18 plus. Do not read this book if you're like 14 years old, 15 years old. This is an 18 and plus book. In all honesty, might even be a little bit more. I think that the spice level of this book is a 3 out of 5, because it's very spicy. There's a lot of obvious scenes, but as the series goes on, we'll talk later about how the Dark One is more spicy. So there are very steamy moments. It is a very predictable book. You know exactly what's going to happen by like page 5. You can tell. There's not a big like major plot twist or anything like that. And it is very much straight porn. It is. I'm not even gonna lie about it. It's straight smut. So if you like smut, this is a book for you. My favorite quote of this book is when Winnie Darling Winnie Darling is, you know, trapped in the room. She's like locked to the bed. She doesn't know what to do. She's waiting. She's just waiting around for someone to come save her or let her escape in some way or shape form. And she thinks to herself, I am going to fuck a lost boy. And that is her plan on getting out of here. Her plan was to seduce everybody. I think this was very well written. It was its own thing. There was a plot to the book, like you knew what they were trying to do, but the plot was not the main overall thing. It really focused on the smut more than the plot, which I mean, I'm not going to complain about. Completely fine. But it wasn't a terrible book overall. It was a lot about sex. There was like a plot. Like it was like kind of good. Like, you know, it was there. So that's really nice. But don't worry because it's a series. So we don't have to worry about, you know, not having a super big plot. I know she announced that the third book is coming out as well. So this series, I think it's going to come to a dramatic ending. But at the end of this book, it did get kind of sad because she is returned to her family and stuff. But obviously there's a second book, so she doesn't stay. But it is kind of sad seeing that she's returned and her mother is still very mentally ill. That's actually very sad. Oh wait, I have another thing. Apparently I had two favorite quotes. I'm like looking and seeing that I have another thing underlined. It says, if you are not the most interesting person you know, then you're doing it wrong. I like that. That's a pretty good quote. It's not my favorite quote, but it's a pretty good one. I think it's okay. Sure. Picasso, I like it. Whatever. But yes, so that is the Never King book overall. Great book. I think that book-wise, it's a 3 out of 5 as well. I mean, like I said, plot wasn't really there, but the smut did make up for it. So if you want a very smutty book that you don't really have to worry about a plot a lot, this is the one to go. Nikki St. Crow, you are a great writer. This is my first time ever reading anything by Nikki St. Crow, and I think it's like literally if you just look at the amount of like tabs I have, just like everything is tabbed, it's just amazing. But yes, if you're looking for a book that doesn't have a lot of plot, that you really just want to read like some spicy alone time. That was so weird. I never want to do that again. This is a book for you. I'm going to go ahead and post that on my Goodreads. So that will be already up and posted as well. And then obviously I'm going to film the dark one later on tonight after I finish doing a bunch of other stuff and editing. I do want to apologize again for my absence. I have been gone, but I will be returning. I'm about to sit down and film like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more videos. Might condense it down a little bit. Actually, I might be doing little snippets. I also want to do another little segment of like books that aren't as super long, like kind of like these, or like littler ones, or like classic books that people already know about, stuff like that, and like condense them down to like really small ones. So I might do like little chapter side things. I don't really know how it's going to work out and play out though, mostly because I have a series in mind that I really want to do, but making a 10-15 minute video on each one of them books would be physically impossible because it just is like I could literally read the book in probably the 15 minutes that I have. So I'm going to try to do like these little chapter snippet things. If they don't work, they don't, but I'll just leave it at that. But thank you so much for watching. Please go ahead and like and follow and subscribe and follow all my social media links down below. Go ahead and follow my Goodreads as well so you can keep up with what I'm doing. It'll tell you what books I'm actually currently reading and books that I'm currently working on. If it's in like the want to read category, then obviously I want to read it. But if it says currently reading, that means that I'm either A, reading it, or B, I've read it already and I'm currently like making a video on it. So that's fun. And then obviously my read books are the ones that I've read. You also have my favorites. It'll show like my favorite books that I've read so far down there as well. Super awesome and fun. And then I'm gonna do something because I did put up my Christmas tree. I do want to do something fun with that, but I don't really know what's gonna happen yet. I'm just so excited. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you like The Never King 2 or if you were a fan of another book maybe. I don't know. Well, until next time, bye.